Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. We are at the 120 meter hole today, continuing our grind for silver so we can get a bigger reel for our heavy boat rod. Um, as you can see, I've been grinding a little bit. We're up to 29,495 and we've got a fresh 5-hour boat ticket here in front of us. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Been getting some interesting fish here. I am using the Hunter 1000 and some large fillets. The yellow squid, which is about destroyed. The purple and the red, which is really about destroyed. So if those get tore up, we'll go ahead and switch over to something else. Just another random squid that I have. Sometimes you do get stuff on the drop. We did get something right away there as soon as we got down there. It's small, unfortunately. We'll have to see what it is. But it was pretty much right at the bottom layer there. But again, a little small to start off with. Guys, let me know if there's a lake or a map you want me to fish at. Let me know, and I'll hit it up. I've just been grinding for silver, just trying to stay, not spend money, get to that next level, which honestly is probably 50K, and it's going to take a while to get there. I played yesterday probably 5 hours IRL on my day off. I only made one video, but I played quite a bit. It's just easier. It's hard to make videos consistently. Small haddock there. So, not a great fish to start with. Again, you do got to pay attention for fish on the drop. Alright. What I like to do once I get down to the bottom is I try to find a spot where I'm getting movement in the bottom layer and perking or strong perking. So I'll kind of adjust my depth until I can get that combo. For some reason, I don't know if it's true, but I just believe like it increases the bite rate. But sometimes it still takes a minute to get a bite. Like I said, we got that haddock pretty much on the drop last time as soon as we got there. So the boat will move around with the tides, inflows, outflows. Alright, unfortunately it looks like another small one here. The bad thing about the 120 is, the drop time and the reel time. For me, it makes it challenging. Just for, trying to have something cool to say the whole time that we're waiting. But I really, I struggle with talking. It's real easy to just fish. That's why sometimes it's easier just to, grind it out and not make a video. I was trying to fight here right at the end. It's kind of getting our energy down here. So a little wolfish. So we already got probably the red lure is broken. Oh no, one of the fire tubes green. So that's good. So I don't know if this is going to hurt the mix match, but. So one of the attraction elements there got broke. Alright, something on the drop here. And unfortunately, we didn't get our energy back. So that's going to make it a little more of a struggle. It's not taking any drag. It's just, I got our energy coming up on here a little bit, so. Again, not very big. Energy situation's making it worse. Of course, that's why we're trying to grind for a big reel for this rod, the right kind of reel. Like a safe. Yeah, just a small safe. I didn't even have to lock the drag, so so far the couple hits we've got on the drop have been close to the bottom, 80, 90 meters or so, beyond 90 or whatever. So again, I'm looking for perking or strong perking. It doesn't matter to me which, and movement in the bottom layer. Now you can get fish at higher levels, and I seem to get these swordfish around level 50. For me, I catch more interesting fish in the bottom layer, but you will catch some cusks also. Okay, let's go ahead and lock this one. I don't think it's bigger than I think what we've been getting, but it's not big yet. It's not big. Probably start losing some energy soon. Maybe not. I'm shift reeling, so you can also have FGA happen more. Fish got away. It'll happen more at the sea anyway than almost any other map, in my opinion. But especially if you're holding shift and you're fast reeling. Another haddock. Again, not big at all. There's no fight in them. Now we are using some fillets here. These guys, some of these guys are when they bite your hunter. That's the squid. That's the squid. So when they bite your hunter, they're using one of your fillets up there. So I've got 18 left. So I did spend some time trying to farm safe to try to get a few in hand. I was actually all the way down to 0. Well, then I did just some foam rubbers right outside this 11 in this kind of right on this line where it's 20, 30 there, and I caught quite a few saiths, and I made a lot of bait. I also then I caught about 80 to 100 fish there in probably 2 hours IRL. But nothing, no trophies, but just a lot of saiths, which is what I needed. And I was able to get some bait fish. I did have one of the bigger fillets than what I'm using now. I only had one because it takes a specific size fish to turn into that fillet. So it's not necessarily the easiest one to make. Again, you got to have a specific size, but I think it was 925 grams non-marker safe. I turned it into one of those big fillets, but pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure because I did notice I had only had one, and I put it on there, and I noticed it stayed on there for a long time, like 40 fish just bit the squids instead of the hunter. But then when it did get bit, I'm pretty sure it was like a 5 kg cusk. So it's a little disappointed in that. But what it did was it kept me from using a lot of fillets. Something real small here again. If we get this one, it'll be 5 small fish in a row here. So far, our biggest being, I think, 4. Bite rate's not been bad, which is a positive. Another little haddock, a little mackerel. It's kind of an odd fish to pull off the bottom there. All right. We're going to roll a little bit so we can get this moving in the bottom layer and perking. Okay, there we go. Hopefully I didn't roll too much. So you're a little more involved. You're not as AFK, obviously using the perking setup if you're not catching. If you're using a smaller shrimp setup or a foam rubber setup and you're getting a lot of your fish on the drop, it's a little less involved. You just throw it out, let it sink, and then reel it in. once you get a fish on the way down. This one, again, you're doing a little more hands on the mouse the whole time. You can let it sit there and you will get bites. You can still AFK it. I just feel like it's a slower bite rate. So again, your choice. A lot of times if I let it sit like that for a minute and then I do a couple perkings like this, I'll get a fish right away. But not always, obviously, just like that time. So I'm doing it. There's 3 clicks for me, 4 clicks, 5 clicks. Now if I wait, I'm not touching anything, but it's still giving me the strong perking. It will go away, but you can get a little pause in here and there if you want. It's nighttime, so sometimes you'll get some different fish at night. I think we're more likely to get cusks at night. But as long as we can get some up over 10, I think a trophy was worth over 300. It depends on how many other trophies are being caught at the time, honestly. The cafe price, or the market price, does depend on who else is catching what. And if there's less trophy cusks recently, it does pay a little more, but I've caught a few, and usually over 300 silver, so again, not bad. I caught a Greenland yesterday, but it was real small. I want to say maybe even 9 kg or something. It did not pay well. I mean, okay, it still paid over 100 silver, but it was so small, you know. And what we should be trying to do, and I guess we'll use this to make our decision if one of our squids break here, is my most amount of silver. If you hit your stats, here's on your front screen. So for me, this is not the one I caught the other day. If you look, this one gave me 236,000 XP. This was over 1,000 silver, if I remember correctly. Okay, and I caught it on the Hunter 300. I think I was at the 55, so I wasn't even using the big Hunter like I am now. But what we could do, I'm in the USA region, guys, so I usually check that. But obviously, use your records and ratings. You can look at weeklies or whatever. So if I want to look at the I thought it was the Atlantic Wreckfish. Here we go. So the yellow squid. Somebody did catch one on a Hunter 1000, which we're using. But the yellow squid, so what we could do is, we have it. Now when it breaks, I don't know if I've got another one. And they may not be in the 120. They may be more in the 55 or 75 or 80. I'm not getting both messages here. So I tightened up a little bit of line, and now I'm getting it. As the boat drifts, the water depth at the, just because you're in the 120 doesn't mean it's 120 exactly, right? Your line is in 5 meter increments. So it can be, we're showing 110, but we could really be at 107 or 112 or whatever. There's a little bit of variance there because it's only giving you 5 meter increments. It's not going meter by meter, so. Guys, starting tomorrow, I got a little Skyrim playthrough. Everybody's been playing Oblivion and feeling nostalgic, so I did play Oblivion. I'm an old guy, so I did play it back in the day. But I started playing some Skyrim. I put some on the channel. Starting tomorrow, you'll be able to check that out if you want. The IRL fishing, we've been having so much rain here in Ohio. It's been so disappointing. It's like those 1,000 memes that you see where, you're at work, it's beautiful, it's sunny, you get days off, it just freaking rains for 3 days straight. That's exactly what it's doing to me. I've got to go. I ordered a new. I've been having nothing but problems with the trying to get the boat going. It's been setting 10 years. I had to redo all the trailer wiring, new tires for the trailer. My nephew and I sanded the entire trailer. Excuse me, painted the entire trailer, rewired the trailer. It just, hundreds of dollars. The motor didn't work when we tested the motor, so now I've ordered a new motor. It didn't work. The battery's showing charged, so now I got to go get the battery tested today at AutoZone or whatever. It's like not a sponsor, but they could be. But yeah, it's just $200 and some for a motor, waiting for it to show up, and then tested it at the storage unit and where I've got the boat stored, and it did not work. So damn it. Just got out of bed. My sinuses are draining. A lot of allergies and pollen and crap going on this time of year. The rain has been suppressing a lot of it. If I lay down for a few hours, the longer I lay down, the worse it gets. I get congested, so it's you got to fight through that when you get back out of bed, unfortunately. So I do apologize for that. I do have a soda. Try to help with that. The problem is, I've probably said this before, I probably should be drinking a hot drink like a coffee. Try to burn through some of that. been doing more talking than perking. Starting to see a little bit of sun here, even though it's still, the moon is still on the screen there. Alright, we may be drifting. Let me hit the the button here and drop it down a little bit. I did reel it in to lock it, but looks like we're getting the appropriate presentations. Alright, finally, and again, something super small here. I don't know if it's the weather or what, but we're just not, RNG's bad or what. We're not getting good luck right now. It's draining our energy. It may be a small cusk, unfortunately. That's what it seems like to me. But it's just a faith. All right. So see how I'm not getting the other technique? I'm going to go ahead and reel a little bit and then try it again. Now I'm getting both perking, well, strong perking in this case, and movement in the bottom layer. Okay, there we go. Alright, something seems to be a little bigger. Almost. There we go. Squeak the drag a little bit. This may be a cusk, so it's coming in easy, right? Then it's just going to stop. It's going to fight back, and then it's just going to stop it's going to reel real slow. I've got the drag maxed, so it's going to attempt to reel or break the line or the rod or something. So it's still coming okay. It's resisting a little bit. Okay, it's not very big. Alright, now it's resisting, so I'm just going to let off the shift button. As you can see, it's pulling down on the rod there. The tension bar is getting longer, but I'm still reeling slowly. And then once it lets up, I'll hold shift again, which I'm doing now. And it's fighting again, or whatever, resisting. Swimming down, whatever you want to call it. Now it's let up again. I'm going to shift reel again. It is taking away some energy over there. It looks like it's starting to go down. Now it's resisting again. We'll go ahead and have a coffee. I'm just going to let off a shift when it's fighting like that. when it's pulling harder. And again, this is where normally I'll do this technique just to get that fast. As you can see how fast it's reeling on the drop. It's probably annoying as hell to watch me do that, so I don't know. No one's really said. And it's a cusk. So it's not very big, but again, they fight super hard for their size. They fight like a small tank. It's like trying to reel a car in off the bottom of the ocean when they fight, and it's like, really? They're that tough in a real life game? But you know, maybe they are. Maybe they are. I live in Ohio. I'm nowhere near the Norwegian Sea, so you know, freshwater fish. We do got some. If you hook into a 50-pound catfish, yeah, it's going to be a truck. But again, it just does not compare to the ocean. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it does. It's exciting, but it's not the same as hooking into a 1,000-kilo shark, right? One of the little info screens that RF4 puts up, which is probably true, is saltwater fish are stronger than freshwater fish. Again, I don't know how that's true pound per pound, but I'm assuming that's probably legit. So they fight harder, they're less cautious, right? There's more competition. Kill or be killed, right? So there is a lot of that going on in freshwater, but once you get to a certain size, like in Ohio, if you're a small bass, when you're born, there's a high probability you will not make it to be a spawning adult. You got to avoid getting eaten. Even other bass will eat you. Now, the parents of bass, when a largemouth bass spawns, the dad will, or the parents in general, I think it's the dad actually after they hatch, but they will protect the nest to try to protect the eggs. Once they hatch, I think it's the dad will swim around next to the fry or the small school of bass and protect them. But they still will get picked off. I mean, obviously you can't, but he does his best. And then even once they get 10 inches, they can still get eaten, depending on if there's muskie or pike or even just if a large catfish or whatever. Usually the large catfish don't get them because they're slow, and the bass are faster. But anyway, until they probably, in Ohio, once a bass hits, 10, 12 inches, it's probably pretty safe for the most part from other fish. There's a size there that it's probably pretty safe. And it may be a little smaller than that, actually. Well, in the ocean, you can still be pretty good size. I mean, whales get eaten by killer whales, you know what I'm saying? So there's really, you don't have that safety. But that's, like there's some games out there where the fish, your job is to eat and get bigger, and that's what you do, because the bigger you get, the better chance you got to survive. You can eat bigger things, and you can also you're a target for less predators. In Ohio here, we got different species of catfish. So here's a blue ling. Now the common ling is, even though it's called the common ling is the rare one and worth more. But this was still 42,000 XP. So this is nice. This will be decent silver. It's only 8.6. I did get trolled, I think. So I'm pretty sure it was the common ling that I caught out of this hole. 26. Okay. Now, there's a website which I've talked about several times called RF4. I just type in RF4 stat. If I could see RF4 stat, it comes up in my search bar now, and it's called Fishing Catch Statistics in the Game of Russian Fishing 4. You click that, and then you go to the last tab, which is trophy weight, and that'll open up like a little spreadsheet. And if we scroll down to common ling, 30 kg. So again, I was trolled a little bit. I was trolled a little bit on that 26er, 25, whatever it was. Not like right to the kg there, but I mean, when you go that big, just give me the trophy game. Come on. So I caught that on this setup, in the 120. The 120 is a pretty big spot, obviously, on your map. I try to stay, in this little quadrant here. I don't really fish over here much, but I probably should try it occasionally because it's that, the fish are looking at the depth, I think, is what the fish are going off of. So. But yeah, that's to me, if you're going to go from 0 to 26, just give me the 30. But I don't know how close something's got to be considered a troll. I know I've dated some trolls, and then some people probably call me a troll now that I'm old, right? Maybe I was a troll before I got old. The blue ling was nice. That was a nice catch. That's the kind of stuff to me is an interesting catch. I'd like to, get more of. Obviously, it's going to be the way to make your silver. Yesterday, again, not making a video. I was up to like 127 fish. Again, most of those were on the foam rubbers, which is pretty fast bite rate, which we can check out before we end the video today. I had one cafe order for about 60. Then I sold the remaining fish that I didn't turn into bait. I saved, like I said, like 10 or 12 saiths that I carved up, but I still made over 2,000 And it probably was about 3.5 hours IRL. Um, Again, that's why I wasn't making a video. I try to keep the videos to about an hour, hour and a half. I don't know how true it is. Again, obviously with YouTube, it's a hobby at this point. I'm not a professional at it. I need to get better at editing. There's some things I need to do to improve, but I enjoy sharing the content. It gives me something to look forward to on my days off, which I've been sharing some IRL fishing stuff, on my channel as well. But well, I forgot the point I was trying to make, but the YouTube algorithm. Most people watch for a minute or whatever, and I think that's because people click on and they see or they hear you or they see the video and then they click off, whatever. So I don't know how many people actually right now are still watching 51 minutes in. So for me, with only having a couple days where I can make videos a week, I try to limit my videos to an hour, hour and a half. That way, if I do make 2 videos, that's 2 different days of content, so that I can schedule out on my work days. Because I work 12-hour days, I usually can't make a video on the day that I'm working. It's not that I don't want to; it's just it's asking a lot, because my shift's 12 hours plus getting ready and driving to work. But so I try to schedule the videos in advance. Now, what that means is the average video that you're watching, whether it's IRL or on a video game, is usually about a week. I filmed it probably a week earlier, if I'm doing well on keeping up. Now, sometimes I get behind, and if I've got other things going on in real life, sometimes I just can't make videos. And then I do, like there was a couple weeks ago that I got behind. There was no videos coming out daily. I try to do at least 1 video daily is what I'm trying to say. At least something. But RF4, I try to do 7 videos a week. But on the weeks I work 48 hours in 4 days, it's tough. Because that first day you're off, if you're an adult and you have a job and that first day off is rest, recovery, trying to get your mind back, because you're physically worn down, you're mentally worn down, depending on your job. And you got to recover from that, and the best way to recover is to kind of zone out and have some fun. And those are the days a lot of times I'll play RF4, but I won't make a video. But right now, I really wish there was a cheaper option. Excuse me. I really wish there was a cheaper option. And maybe there'll be something coming out with the anniversary sale, hopefully soon. But for this big setup here, this is a big rod, a heavy boat rod, right? It's the heavy marine. I'm not using the right reel for this. The Vinga is okay. It's not, it's eligible to use on this, and it's got the saltwater protection. But I want to get one of the, whatever it's called, the open like a bait caster. I don't know the actual term. But I'm trying to save up for that. But looking, talking to other streamers and people in the Discord and people that I talk to in game, they're saying basically it's worth. You're going to be disappointed if you buy anything sooner than Then I don't know, the Tonger or whatever. Again, you're looking at 40 some thousand. If you can't, for me, honestly, guys, saving money is a challenge, and I'm sure it is for everybody. But for me, it definitely is. So, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to grind out, trying to give you guys content, but at the same time, I know you guys might get tired of the videos that are not at the sea. For me, tend to do better. I'm just not making the silver I want to make, so I'm trying to balance growing the channel, but also getting this next reel that I want so I can try to get some bigger fish. I want to be able to go to some of the deeper holes. The Vinga doesn't really hold the line length that you need. But give us a fish here. We're coming up on 57 minutes. Yeah. Something small here. We're at an hour 58:30. I'm going to go ahead and use the let's throw out the foam rubber setups for a few here, just to get a little bit, get some more fish in the boat. I try to get 300 an hour for the 5 hours. That's a 1,500. That's 1,100 profit after the 5-hour boat ticket. If I don't lose any rigs, or I did have an attraction element break, so you are going to slowly. But I figure that extra 100 will cover most of the stuff that it might break during the thing. Little spiny dogfish, not a bad fish. Again, let's throw out the foam rubber setup here. We're not going to let this go all the way down. We're going to stop it at about 40. If we don't have a fish, but in this case we got a fish. Now this reel is not the exact same kind, but it's similar. And when I get this, we'll get the sub over here, we can look. But this reel has been putting in work at the sea. It's got about 35% wear on it here. I used it on some larger setups because I was trying to save the Vinga, but this reel is pretty beat up, 33%. It's only 19 kg. But for a cheaper option, this thing has earned its money, in my opinion. So it's got my recommendation. but I don't know how much it's going to be to fix it. Again, I'm trying not to fix anything or any of that. I'm trying to I'm trying to just save. Even when I went to copper, I was just trying to use corn that I already had. And say, I've been just any baits I already had. That's what I was trying to use. And that's not always the best option, but we still made money. I made money every time. But there's a mackerel. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. I'm not going to go all the way down with this foam rubber setup. I'm actually going to start reeling in. What we can do. I was doing something different. I was wondering why my speed was turned down. I was fishing from the dock in between boat tickets, and I was just throwing out this setup and reeling it in. I was catching eel pouts from the dock, but I couldn't get any big ones. Nope. Smelled a fish on the way in. That's always good. Just a safe there, but that's okay. It's a bonus fish. Alright, same thing. I'm not going to let it go too deep. I'm just going to fast reel up here. And I got a fish. Nice. Probably should do this in the top 30 meters. Not even go down that far. Just to try to, again, keep the just quite a few, fast bite rate basically. We're a little over an hour now. That's a nice fish. So we're at 30. We're going to just stop. Fast reel back in. If I get to 5 and I don't get anything, just open up the reel. We'll let it go back to 30 here. Got a fish already. Nice mackerel. All right, back to 30. Well, actually 35 in that case because I was a little slow. Fast roll back in. Enter. And then watch for the fish on the drop. Alright, go back to 30. We didn't get anything. And you can just stop at 30 and perk. That's what you want to do. There we go. Got something small here on the way back. Probably a little non-marker mackerel. Could be a whiting. Non-marker mackerel. Sometimes you hate it when you're right, you know. Sometimes you don't want to be right, but it feels so wrong. Okay. Again, my minimum hour I want to be is 300. I'm still going to be disappointed at 300, but I'm going to be probably a little bit pissed off. Pardon the French. If I'm below 300. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here just a little bit longer, and then we'll divide our total by 1.25, which is an hour and 15 minutes for you non-mathematicians, and that's okay. Everybody does it. One thing in life, guys, you're not going to be good at everything. If you are, congratulations. But most people are, you're good at a couple things. Try to do those things as much as you can. But everybody's not, you're not going to be great at everything. Do your best. As long as you know you're putting the effort in, congrats to you. You're doing it. It's real easy to lose that mental battle, guys, and to lose and just to give up, basically. It really is. It's not hard to do at all, unfortunately. It's a lot harder to do the right things. So, if you're doing your best, that's all anyone can ask of you. And hopefully they see that you're trying your hardest or you're doing your best. Now, if you're slacking a little bit and you're failing, then that's okay. You can either get motivated or try to find that motivation back, or be okay with, mediocrity. And honestly, guys, you got to enjoy your life. You got to have a balance. I've had so many years where I just worked, and I didn't enjoy it. I missed out on so many things with my son. Now that he's, an adult, we get to do the fishing stuff. IRL, the 20-25 fishing challenge. My son and I are doing that. We do that together. He's not part of the channel. He just, he doesn't care if he's on the video or not or whatever. He doesn't care. He just wants to catch more fish than me. So there is a video explaining the challenge. It's just for lunch or dinner. It's a 1-year competition, and there's points given to certain fish, like what we call like ideal fish, like largemouth bass or whatever. Those fish are worth 5 points. Catfish, I think, are worth 1 point, 2 points. I can't remember. Carp are worth, maybe they're worth 1 point. I can't remember, but there's a whole point system there. There's a video explaining that, and then there's the IRL video when we actually fish, and then I'm doing a recap video. But again, there hasn't been anything new for a couple weeks, unfortunately. I do apologize for that, but with the rain and trying to get the boat up and running, because I want to provide you guys some boat fishing this year, not just bank fishing. But boy, has it been a struggle. But the IRL stuff does well on the channel, so I'm not trying to eliminate the gaming, because I enjoy it. I'm gonna be honest with you. But the IRL fishing I enjoy more. I just do it less because obviously with my work schedule and stuff, and again, if I had a lake at my house, I would fish more. But you got to travel, you got to coordinate. I was going to go by myself today. Rain. I'm off tomorrow. Rain. And I mean, honestly, guys, I don't mind fishing in the rain, but I don't want to be soaked and miserable the whole time and taking the chance that I'm going to kill my phone trying to make a video for the channel. So again, I apologize for not any IRL stuff recently. Coming soon. Daggone Ohio. If you haven't heard any memes or saw any memes about Ohio weather, they're out there and they're pretty legit. Like what we have a saying around here, if you don't like the weather, don't worry, just wait. Wait 5 minutes, it's going to change. So I'm sure there's a lot of places around the world that are like that. Ohio is definitely one of them. And you'll look at the forecast 6 days out, beautiful sunny day. 2 days before, oh my gosh, it's going to rain the whole day. The day of, sunshine. Obviously the weather guys don't. If you're a weather guy in Ohio, it's like a crapshoot because you have no clue what Ohio's going to do. It's not typical. All right, let's get this in. Let's call the sub. We're at 114. We can actually call the sub now. The submarine has been called. We did get one blue ling, unfortunately. I don't think there was much more exciting than that. We'll check it out here once we got a couple decent mackerels here at the end. When you're calling in the sub, guys, you're not going to get any cafe orders, but I'm going to go ahead and stay out and keep fishing here. So first thing we're going to do is sell our fish. I always like to look by price. So we're going to sell all these. The blue ling was 81. Again, these are kind of small. The spiny is small, still 32. So 362. Now if we go to the tackle store very quickly here, and we go to reels. So these are called classic bait casting. So what I'm being told that I should save up for, oh no, I'm sorry, a conventional reel is what we're looking for, I think. What I'm being told I should save up for is the tonger. at the minimum, I think is what he was saying. I'm not going to be able to save up for this stuff. I mean, 71,000. It's just not going to happen. There is the Triumph at 69. Again, I'm not going to save. I'm not going to make that. That's 23 for 44. This is 21 for 37. Again, these are all smaller. This one's 33 for 22.7. I just don't know. That looks kind of small. I don't know how much line capacity that one has. This is the one I was looking at trying to get, possibly. I was told, no, do not buy this one. It's, again, they're looking at the stats on a stats page. And they're saying, I'm pretty sure they're saying this is the, so I don't know. This is 37 for 21.8. This is 23 for 44. This is 61. I don't know what the right answer is. Obviously it makes sense just to buy this. 321. So if you look at, let's dismiss the sub. So if you wanted to do this and typed in 321, I'm not going to pay $642 IRL to buy a reel. I just can't do it. It can't do it, guys. I can't do it. I did buy a Vinga in this game, IRL, but what I did was I just added funds to my Steam account every other week or every month until I was able to save up the money. So, all right, where were we at? We were at like 340 something. I can't even remember. But we may have been a little under our, we may have been about 280 an hour, so a little disappointing. But guys, I appreciate you. Until next time, have fun fishing. I am out of here.